Okay, well, I just made a really stupid mistake. All right, friends, welcome back to another exciting day. All right, today's mission is to keep moving on this side. So, got the door in, as you saw. Now I want to get the pocket door framed in here. It's going to involve building a bit of a small header wall up at the top, and then the door frame itself will sit kind of right in here. I want to get the frame installed so that we're one step closer to wall covering. I'll need that in before I can do some of this drywall and stuff. The other thing that I'm going to work on here a little bit is cleaning up this whole tool hole disaster zone, which has kind of accumulated on me. I need to work on this back wall a little bit. We decided to do made a bit of a pivot on what we're doing back here and with the toilet. So once I get into that, I'll explain more, but it's going to require working in there. First things first, I want to get this frame built, at least as much of it as I can, because I am running low on lumber. I need to go do another run to Lowe's. The first order of business, I've been reading the instructions, which is slightly abnormal for me. But when I framed this piece of the wall, I put it at a specific location here for this pocket door. But what I failed to realize is I made this the exact opening that the pocket door wants, from that bottom plate all over to this stud. But the problem I have is that the pocket door itself doesn't actually have any attachment on the side. It just hangs in this frame and is basically just a track up at the top. So that means when I put the wall covering on the pocket door side, there will be nothing here to support anything. So the drywall is not going to like that. So what I need to do instead is put a stud right here that'll stick off, so that'll give my drywall a place to screw into from this side and that side for that matter. And then we'll hang the pocket door frame from that stud. But that's going to eat 1.5 inches from this opening. So it means this stud needs to move back 1.5 inches. I'm just, things are coming to my head. Like, I'm realizing that my stud is going to be short, just like it was there. So maybe I should actually hold on that, and I should go get a true 96-inch stud. Katie was wanting Chick-fil-A. Maybe I should go to Lowe's. I don't know, Evan. Get ahead of yourself. Start with one thing at a time. I'm going to cut this block 1.5 inches shorter. I'm going to pull the screws from the top. Of course, I also drilled my hole for that wire right where I need to be, so I'll need to pull the wire up and out, drill a new hole for it. I'll probably do that after I get the stud moved, so I know this is in its final home, and then cut this bottom plate back 1.5 inches. Okay, well, I just made a really stupid mistake. I cut on the wrong side of the line. I just marked this 1.5 inches, disregard that it's crooked, and that's where my stud needed to go to. I needed to cut there. Gosh, that's so stupid. Dang it. Just making more problems for myself. All right, here's what I did. I don't love it, but that's what it needs to be. Cut this little block. Thankfully, I already have screw holes in it, so that should keep it from splitting. And then I'm just gonna wood glue it all up in here. And then when I put these screws back, I'll replace them for probably 4-inch screws so that I can get down into the subfloor. And that should keep this sturdy enough. Should be okay, but man, that's stupid. All right, it is over. I got it in. Wow, as per usual, that took a lot longer than I expected. The first time, it took me a while to get this level, partly because this bracket was a little bent, and so every time I screwed it in, it would want to wrench this up, and then that would throw me out of level. So then I messed with that for a long time. Then, as you saw, I put it in backwards. So second time around, flipped it around, went in much better. It's really cool to see this opening finally kind of get realized. Makes me really want to throw the door in there, but I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Oh, I'm realizing I forgot to re-drill that hole, but that's quick and easy. No worries, I'll do it when I fire in that switch. All in all, successful day. One step closer. All right, another evening, trying to get things a little bit closer. Today, I think I just need a quick, easy win, get the momentum going. So first plan of action is to get this switch wired in. So just have to drill the top plate, run these wires back here, get the wires in this box, and then I need to move this box, get that installed, and then run a wire from that box up over to this switch. That's it. We'll start there. I don't even want to think about what's next, because if I do, I'll just get distracted. One thing at a time. All right, I just got it connected up under the floor, the wire that runs over to this box, which is connected up now, that runs to the switch box, and we have light. And the fan isn't on right now, but if I connect to this into here, we fire up. It's an exceptionally quiet fan. I knew it was a nice fan. I got it on a slick deal. If you know me, you know I'm an avid slick dealer. So I got it on clearance, deep clearance at Home Depot, like, I don't know, 2 years ago. Fantastic bathroom fan. Next order of business, I think for me, is going to be to get the rest of this installed. So I have one just kind of floating here right now. I want to get the other assembly down there installed here. And then I'll get all this stuff connected, and then hopefully we can pressure test today. I don't know if I talked about these yet, but I made these off camera, just a little assembly with Teflon tape and pipe dope and these threaded connections, except for these plastic ones, because those are O-rings, or I guess they're not necessarily O-rings, but they're rubber seated washers in there that seal those up. Had this plugged earlier, and they're exactly the same length, and I just need to attach these on there just like that, and then run all the piping to it. So I'm gonna get that sorted so that we can get all this connected. Then I need to cap what's in the crawl space here, where it'll eventually connect into the main supply lines. And then I need to also get the vanity lines. I'll probably just put T's on them, or elbows, bring them out to where the vanity will be, and then cap them there. Once the vanity's in, then I can cut the caps off and actually finish the plumbing, because it'll have to come across to the second vanity, or the second sink in the vanity also. But for now, they'll just stop and stub right there. All right, here's what I'm debating. Do I put a T like this and come out right, left, and go into the cold and the cold? Or do I put a T like this and go straight into the cold, and then have a little L-shaped leg over to the other cold? I'm not sure it matters. The problem I see with this is I don't want pressure imbalance. I mean, these valves should be pressure balancing, but I don't want, obviously, going straight up. The flow would be less resistance than it would on this little L-shaped leg. So this feels like it would balance it better, because everything would kind of tee in and then have to go left, right regardless, and they'd be the same. I don't know. I'm pretty confident it doesn't matter either way. But these are the like feedback loops in my head that I get stuck in, of like, what's the best? Because once it's in, you know. But right now I could do either just as easily. I'm leaning towards this. This was my original plan. Split left to right, and I think that should still work. The problem I'm running into is like there's not a lot of width. And so once I get this in there, basically like this, and Jeez. You know, YouTubers always talk about doing things one-handed as being really hard, and I was like, how hard could it be? But that camera really gets in the way. Basically, I don't have a lot of width to play with, because these would have to be super tight like that. And I can't really do that because my tool here has a snout that needs to stick in there. So unless I want to try and do both fittings at once, which I could do, this just feels like it gets hard. I don't know. Do you feel like it might be easier just to do this? It just doesn't matter. I'd love if somebody could just tell me. This is the stuff where it's like, if I was a plumber, I would know if it matters or not, and I would just do it. Instead, I sit here and deliberate for an hour because I just don't know. All right, I'm going to continue to deliberate. I'll let you know when I make a decision. All right, I'm done deliberating. I actually went ahead and did it. Here's what I decided to do. The T's, like I originally wanted, does use an extra fitting and rings, but I think that's okay. I just thought it ended up a little bit cleaner. Barely fit within the wall cavity, so yeah, that was close. But I was able to tighten these up just a hair more to get them angled back a little bit so that the hot water supply sits just behind the cold water supply, so they're not actually touching. There's an air gap there just to keep them from transferring heat. Now these lines that come back down to the shower heads, I think they are going to contact back there. I wish I had done this first, actually, because I probably would have brought these over. I don't know. There's not really a better place to put them. So again, this is going to be going out to the shower head anyway, so if they're contacting here and we get a little bit of hot thermal bridging over there, it's not really the end of the world. I might try to stick a piece of foam in there or something, but I'm a little concerned because I want to keep them, again, within the wall cavity this way. I think it'll all work out. Happy to have that all connected. I'm going to wrap for the night, which means I didn't get this pressure tested because I still need to tie in the vanity, but that'll be quick. I can do that tomorrow, and then I can go ahead and pump this thing up full of air and cross my fingers it doesn't leak. Okay. That's it for tonight. One step closer. Water is plumbed.